Hello, beautiful goddesses. I'm Olga Nelson, known as Polkis, and today, here from my car with the beautiful sky above me, I just wanted to come out and say hi and talk about dealing with your emotions, processing strong emotions, how to process your emotions when you go through a hardship in your life, a difficult moment. It can be the loss of the loved one, like in my case. I'm going through my own processing grief of my nephew. It can be grief of losing something, your job, your partner, a dream, an idea, or dealing with other type of hardships, either through motherhood, parenthood, maybe your business is not going as you want, or whatever it is that you're going through. We all feel the emotions. We all think that's the worst case scenario, that there is no exit of this problem. And today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about processing your emotions, acknowledging the pain, the anger, and the bad feelings that we think are bad, or the bad emotions that someone told us that emotion or feeling certain type of way, it's bad, and it's not. And I also want to share a little bit about the things that I'm doing personally in my own journey to process these hardships or hard moments, especially being a first-time mom and dealing also with different type of businesses, having my family far, and on top of that, last month, I lost one of my nephews that, if you don't know me personally, well, I will be sharing. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Get to know me a little bit better if you don't yet. So last month, I lost my nephew. He was second. I have 3 nephews. He's like the middle one. And I grew up with those kids. Since I got from Guatemala, since I moved from Guatemala to the US, I lived in my sister's house for 10 years. And that means that I was with those kids since like the first one was like 4 months old. So I saw the bellies, I saw them grow, I saw them be born and give their first steps. So those nephews are like my kids. I feel like they're my little brothers, or I'm like the extended mom. That's how I feel. I grew up with them. I was 15 when I moved there. And this baby, he came as an angel, as the biggest master for our family. He was born with a heart disease, and he went through multiple open heart surgeries since the moment he was born. And I feel that angel coming to our family was a gift to our family. It taught us as a family a lot of lessons of collaboration and especially service. That has been one of the lessons that I know by a fact that he came to teach me personally. I can speak from my own experience, and also I guess my family, but I can only speak from myself. And he came to teach me service, the meaning of serving without waiting anything in return, serving with unconditional love and acceptance of the other people, everybody, or family members, or own kids, or own circle of friendships, or maybe the people that we work with at a job, or clients, whatever it is. He came to teach me service, compassion, acceptance, and unconditional love to the others. And he was given, doctors always say, he because the heart condition, he only had half a heart and a pacemaker. And the doctors say, hey, he might not make it past 5 years. So growing up with my sister and being part of their family, it was, we collaborated with each other a lot. And knowing that day might come was painful, and it was hard to accept. It was like going through grief, but he was alive. And growing up, I it was hard for me to understand those things. I was very young. I mean, I'm still young, but at 18, at 15, you don't know about deeper dimensions, deeper things, and spirituality as it is, or the reasons why he came to my life to teach me a lot of things. So he lived 13 years, and those extra 8 years that he was us, each year were a gift, because doctors always say, I don't know how he's gonna make it, I don't know if, after the surgery he's gonna make it, and he always did. Little buddy always did. He always did. And now that he passed at a hospital, he was at a hospital over a little bit over a month, and those were his last days. It was a long death and very hard to witness, because it was very painful, and he even lost hearing from too much medication and too much procedures with his heart. His heart was literally failing and giving up on that physical body. And I went to visit him there, and always communicating with him. He was 13 when he transcended, and just witnessing that, seeing the resilience that, he woke up and he would show up for that day, although his day meant being in a bed. He still had the best attitude. In the moments that he was happy, of course, when he was not going through the pain, he will be cracking jokes, making me laugh, and asking questions about things, So, of course, losing someone, especially a child, it can be anyone, your parents, anything, anyone close to you. It is not easy, although that's the only thing we have guaranteed. The moment that we come out of mother's womb, the only thing that we have guaranteed is that one day we're gonna die, that we're gonna go back to the light, that we're gonna transcend again. So that's the only thing that we have guaranteed, and yet it's so hard to talk about. It's so hard to accept that one day we're gonna leave this blanket. This blanket is just a physical body. That's not who we are. And this blanket comes with ego, comes with all these feelings and emotions and thoughts, and then trauma, and then we get triggers, and then we get our programming from the places that we grow up or live at. So one of the things that, I'm going through my process of grief. Although you might see me, I'm always positive, happy. Yes, that has always been me. I always look for new opportunities, or whenever I go through challenges, I see, what am I learning here? Where is my lesson? And there is a reason why I was put in this circumstance, or in this group, or in this activity, or with this client, because it's part of the process to grow. So I always have learned that in difficult situations, there is a big lesson to learn. And the more difficult it is, the bigger the lesson, the bigger the reward. So going through my process of grief, of course, hasn't been like the most beautiful thing. And at the same time, I'm very at peace, knowing that he's with the light. I have talked to him, I have seen him, I've been able to connect with him through meditation, through going inside. The answers are always inside. And when we are able to connect that way, we can see the beauty of life and death together as a spiral, as a whole collective, as a circle of life. And it's so beautiful. So that fact keeps me at peace. In my core, in my soul, I'm happy that he's right here in the other dimension with light and God. And the part that is hard, it's this, my human, my brain, my ego, my emotions. That's the part that gets a little tricky, because we need to learn to process it. We need to learn to deal with those emotions. And I've been able to manage it really well. Although I had to hold space for the process or the phase of grief, where, the 5 stages of grief, there is one that is the anger. And for 2 solid weeks, I went through the anger phase. not angry at myself or my husband or life or death or God or the fact that he's gone. No, I wasn't angry at that. I was just angry in general for any little thing. And I couldn't pinpoint like, oh, I'm angry because of this, or I'm angry because this reason. No, it was just anger, and me knowing and being conscious and aware that this was coming, and me preparing and having tools to process my emotions. I was able to help the space for that, those 2 weeks that I went through, and I'm just happy that I was able to feel the anger, process it, give it its space. And the sooner I was able to look at anger and let it be, the faster it passed through me. And I feel that as women, we go through a lot of phases, a lot of hardships, especially once you try to become a mother or a wife, or launch a business, or you have daughters, or you have parents that you need to take care of, or you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulder. Us women feel a lot. We feel a lot. We feel the emotions, and we should be able to process those emotions, let them be, not be ashamed of those emotions, hold space for it, and having the tools. So some of the things that I have, the tools in my toolbox to process my emotions, number one is being aware that I have those feelings and thoughts and emotions, and let them be, holding space for them. Maybe that day means that I'm not gonna take a client, or maybe that day means I am gonna be needing some time off from doing my daily activities, so I can hold space for the emotion. Let it be, cry it out and let it be. That's like respecting the feeling and emotion and let it be. Give the emotion and feeling like a space to be. Let them be. Just like if you have a toddler, you just put them in the toy room and let them be. That's kind of like the emotions. Emotions are toddlers. Number two is also having a connection with God, a connection with divinity. And that connection honestly got my back. I trust blindly that everything has a reason, that I'm gonna get through that I'm gonna figure it out, that there is a bigger lesson and purpose, and that doesn't let me, like, I can't worry, because I know God, universe, divinity, the light got my back. My spiritual team is behind me, and that way I feel that that's why I always I'm so relaxed. I'm like, let's do it, let's feel the emotion, we're gonna heal. This is it, but there is solution. Okay, like once we transcend from this physical world, we don't have solutions because our body is gone, right? So I feel like I'm chill, like life is good, I'm gonna figure it out, and if not, then that was the deal. Like, okay, it finished there, so what? So I feel that having that mentality and resilience got me so far where I am in all areas of my life, and also dealing with emotions and processing them. Number three is also deep meditation, hypnotherapy, and going into trance, like deep meditation state. I'm not talking about your 5, 10, 15-minute meditation. I'm talking 1 hour and a half to almost 2 hour type of trance meditations, going into the subconscious. That has helped me process and deal with my emotions. I started meditating in 2019, 2020, around almost 4 or 5 years ago. And I started with the 5-minute meditations because, of course, it's like a habit. You need to train your brain and you need to train your mind to be quiet. So if you're in that journey of meditating 10 minutes, be proud of yourself, okay? Because it's just gonna get better. But I'm talking about deeper trance, when you actually work on your subconscious from the subconscious level, and not your 5% ego brain, logical brain that it tries to mess shit up, honestly. So I love to go into deeper states, and this takes time, takes practice. And if you're impatient, this will help you also become patient, because you need to be patient with your own self and your mind to quiet it and to give it space to be. Another tool, of course, has been journaling. And although like everybody like you have to journal, no, you do. It's not cliche, it's not cringe, you have to do it. For me, I started writing, and now I type, and then I need to type so much and bend so much that now I just put the recording button, and then the transcript will like type itself on the text. That's how I journal. I talk and let it be, and I get it out. And then sometimes I'm surprised of the things that come out, because I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was there, or I was feeling this way. And that way I don't need to go and verbally vomit stuff or feelings to like the people close to me. Like, no, I leave them in the journal, and only me and God know that, and the computer. Don't worry, you cannot hack them. I delete them. So I feel like that way has been a really, really amazing tool to do it. Another tool has been having close relationships, other than my husband, of course, but like close relationships where I can be myself, where I can open myself, and I can share what I'm going through. So your circle always matters, and if they are supportive and understanding of that. Another tool that I recently also started practicing is ice baths. So in April, I think March or April was my first ice bath with the owner of Surrender, and she guided us through an ice bath. And after trying like 3 times the ice bath with Surrender, I went and got myself an ice bath, and I asked my husband, I'm like, hey, I want this to be my Mother's Day gift, because I feel that this is gonna do something for me. And little did I know, 2 months later, my nephew passed away. So for almost 2 months, I was doing ice baths for 2 minutes every day. Almost every day. Of course, I missed a couple of days, but it was almost every day for 2 minutes each session. And that helped me regulate my nervous system, learning how to breathe, how I react to stress. It helped me to just react to life better when it comes to like being overwhelmed. If like the baby wasn't sleeping and I was tired that day. And little did I know that was preparing me to go through a big process that is the loss of a kid, right? Like my nephew. So that's why I say God got my back. It always prepares me for upcoming situations. So that's why I have so much faith in divinity and God, because everything is supposed to be where it's supposed to be right now. Although right now you don't think you're in the best situation, trust, that's where you're supposed to be right now, because of that situation, that moment, that feeling, that experience is preparing you for something bigger. But everything is mindset and perspective, and how you see life and what you truly believe without seeing for your future. So that's what I wanted to share today, ladies. All of these things have been amazing. And other thing that I forgot, that is like the main thing basically, is like honestly coaching. I feel like coaching saved me from a lot of things, and I think that's why I became a coach, because I saw the effect it had on me. That saved me from not having postpartum depression, because everything is mindset. Everything is like, how can I go forward? What book can I read? Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on the goal. So I have tried different coaches. Even when I became a coach, I still had a coach for myself through the institute that I graduated from, and then after that I extended like the program so I can have access to the coaches there, professional coaches that they've been doing this for years, professional. And I had access to them. And even when I coach and my clients have questions that maybe I don't know how to like navigate that life situation for them, I go and ask the coaches where the program that I'm part of, and they give me strategies and solutions so I can give my clients. So it's a constant learning, and I'm a student of life. I always said it in my YouTube channel. I always talk about these things, student of life, and being open to receive new perspectives and paradigm shifts. That has been key in my growth, in how I deal with my emotions, how I'll deal with difficult situations and hardships, and just have faith. that everything will work out. So that's what I had to share today, ladies, from the bottom of my heart. I feel very inspired, especially with the sky above me and my hair done. Look at the hair. So thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. Write them in the comments or send a DM, send a private message. And I'm excited because, ladies, in 2 weeks I'm gonna be a host with other women of a women's retreat for 2 nights. I feel that this retreat was put to help women that need these tools, that want to experience something different, and then all of those skills that I talk about are gonna be in this retreat. I'm gonna be leading professional coaching sessions, talking about the energetics and the spiritual side of money, basically, because I see women struggle with that, and I took that task. Let me talk about that. And also there is going to be another coach talking about mindset. There is going to be workshops for art to express your inner greatness and express your feelings and emotions through paint on canvas. This session is going to be led by a professional artist, my friend, super amazing girl, and she's also going to be leading yoga. There is going to be also ice baths with guided meditation and also guided sessions with a professional that she's also an amazing woman that will be guiding you through ice, the therapy of ice. And also she will be leading a women's circle ceremony to go deeper into our emotions or feelings, like talk about the deep stuff. And there's also going to be a cacao ceremony to open the heart. And on top of that, besides the healing and all of that, we're gonna have fun. There's gonna be kayaking, pedal boarding. We're gonna have a private chef in this retreat. A private chef. Say what? Everything is included, all your meals, the bed. There is gonna be animals. There is like a place like where they have like safari vibes. You can go check on the animals. It is really good. So if you're looking for a community like that, a place where you can go and experience these things, I invite you to check www.awakeher.com or page right here, Awake Her. So thank you, my goddesses. I love you. Bye.